Hello guys, NautoAce here. So this will be a follow-up on my EVO 2023 thoughts, namely about Skullgirl, because well, I've been following the community and the history about it. Skullgirl developer Future Games decided to do something, well, unfortunately political to some extent, and that is with the latest update, they decide to, well, censor the game to some extent. A lot of the words are being changed, a lot of designs being changed, and art design are being, well, quote unquote nerfed. Basically less fan service, more censorship to some extent. And like I said, my opinion about that one is it's just bad form. Probably wasn't a good idea to do that. Probably would make more sense if you do a sequel, and unlike with Mortal Kombat, Idea Factory games rather than the game itself. But of course, been following what happened in 2018, 2019 with Idea Factory games. There were a lot of compromises. They couldn't do anything about it because Sony was being a bitch, but it is what it is there. Anyway, with Skullgirls, yeah, so a lot of the art now, they're being toned down. Again, bad form, it sucks. And like for me personally, probably what's best to just leave it alone. And some say, well, why not do an option? Why not have a switch to say censor and censor? Well, that's not that easy. In the case with Dead End Request 2, believe it or not, PlayStation 4 version, they had to censor the Nightmare mode. However, on the Steam, they did kind of like a poll and they wanted the uncensored version. And when people said, well, can you do both? They said they can't. And the reason for that is coding. It's not that easy to do. So more code, more complex. I mean, heck, with Mortal Kombat 1, Ed Boon said it. The reason there's no stream mode or friendly mode or no blood mode, because that's code that you have to put it in, so that's double the work. And push comes to shove, even if you have a passion with whatever project, you might not want to overdo it and put more things that you could probably just avoid it, but well, it is what it is. So that's the reason why you could even do it with Skullgirl. Chances are big thing that's coding problem. I mean, I'm assume that with Bayonetta 3 with the Angel mode, that's a code. Like there's a lot of code you have to do. Oh, have Bayonetta not lose her clothes, have her code equation. You get the idea. Well, if you're a game designer, you'll probably understand why. So a lot of those options, you need to do a lot of coding. So kind of suck there. But the question is, why would future games do that? And why censor themselves? Well, you have to understand the history of Skullgirl. What people don't know to some extent, the creator of Skullgirl is a weirdo. It's a creeper. That person was discussing to a point that at a time when this person has full control of Skullgirl, some of the employees quit. And some of them even practically begged, please quit, give us a franchise. Let's not put this franchise in the trash. But the person said, no, it's my creation, so I can do whatever I want. And the guy, like I said, is a creeper, disgusting. Oh boy, you name it. If you want to know about it, I'm going to put a link in the description box about the history. But of course, moving forward, this person decided to sell his creation to Future Games, and now they have control. And by then, for a while, like, oh, what's going on? Nothing. Of course, they're adding new characters. But of course, if you know what happened in 2024, there's going to be some sort of eSports for them, and that's the reason why. And I said it before in the particular video with the EVO 2023 is that if you're going to make your game sort of mainstream and going to an eSports entertainment, there are probably going to be regulation. I mean, look what happened with, like I said, Street Fighter 5. There were certain costumes that they were not even allowed to use because ESPN are working with EVO, and they say, yeah, you can't have this, you can't have that. You're putting this on television. Nope. And I don't know what happened in the long run now, but that's what happened there. So they're probably trying to change their image, because if you don't know, like I said, the guy who created Skullgirl was a creeper, and to some extent the game kind of reflects on this person. And believe it or not, there was even rumor that Skullgirl, under his creation for a while in the past, wanted to be more fan service, but the employees suggest tone it down so we can get more sales. So to some extent, what you call it, a lowest common denomination to get as many people to get interested with your product. And sadly to say, whether you agree or not, fan service is not for everyone. Case in point, Project Eve, Stellar Blade, good game. What it looks like, of course, you notice the main character. Well, she has a very tight clothes that you can see her buttocks, And some of the people were complaining just for that, even though the game is good. And they said, why so offensive? And some guy said, well, my girlfriend was interested with the game, but felt uncomfortable looking at the characters, looking at her buttocks. And he said, well, doesn't matter. Well, if you're a male-centric gamer, yeah, probably it's not going to affect you. But what if it's a guy who's just wearing a G-string and you can see the guy's buttocks and his nut? Of course, you're going to feel uncomfortable. I mean, case in point, Watchmen with Dr. Manhattan. To some extent, I'm not going to lie, there's been part when I have to, well, look off screen because of you know why, so that's the reason. So they're trying to make the game more comfortable for everyone to play, to enjoy. That's why the censorship is going to be toned down. Of course, like I said, eSport kind of sucks. I don't like it, but like I said before, I'm going to say it again, whether I like it or not, it is their creation. It is their decision. Suck, yes, with politics shoves in, it sucks, but that's the creation. Like, again, they're trying to stay away. They're trying to remove that image of what that creeper did who created Skullgirl. They're trying to change that franchise's image. It was supposed to be fan service to some extent, but in the long run, they said, well, that's not going to work. Not a lot of people are going to like it. Then you're not going to have that sale. Remember, the very key thing when you're trying to sell a product is to get the lowest common denomination. That's always been the key. To the point that you have to tone down stuff. The Altier game has to be toned down so more people to do it. Mortal Kombat, to some extent, they had to tone down the characters. Yes, the female are butt ugly, whether you like or not, it is what it is. To tone it down to make other people comfortable playing those games. So if you don't like the design, you don't like the direction, you don't like the censorship, the politics behind the game, I said it in one of my other videos, you vote with your wallet. Do not buy the game. Do not buy this. Do not buy Skullgirl. Do not support it. I mean, granted, you already paid for it. Okay, that sucks. Like I said, it's bad form. But here's the thing. Don't buy the season pass. Maybe if they do another Skullgirl, a sequel, don't buy that until you say, hey, bring it back as it used to be. Mortal Kombat, to some extent. Oh, Mortal Kombat 1 female character. They're butt ugly. Ew, gross. Okay, don't buy the game. Vote with your wallet. Granted that most people from the NautoAisDx community probably not going to give a shit because it's about fatalities. So let that sink in. It's all about fatality. And you're really going to, like, to some extent focus on sexy character. I know in Mortal Kombat 9 they were uber sexy. But again, it's all about pulling bones, guts, cutting heads off, fatality. Skullgirl, yes, sucks. In other games, like I said, don't like it, don't buy it, vote with your wallet. Yeah, it's like, oh, that's a cop-out. What else can you do? You can let your voice be heard, okay, but to some extent, push comes to shove, it might just fall in deaf ear. Just saying that. So there you go. My thoughts about the Skullgirl censorship update. Bad form, but it is their game. The way they did it was really piss poor because it kind of screwed the consumer. Like I said, if they kind of did it with a new game, makes more sense than doing an old game. But if they're doing it in an old game, chances are they might not do another Skullgirl. But you never know. Anyway, with that, I'll see you guys later.